This is a story time about how I was held hostage for 8 hours at a guy's house that I was dating because his crazy baby mama was outside cutting up with the kids. Let's get into it. So originally I met this guy. I was actually out with one of my line sisters for our anniversary, because we're AKAs, and so we went out just to have a quick drink, nothing major. And I was in my jogging suit. I had a fresh press. I just got my hair done, so I wasn't really stepping like that, but I was stepping. So here we go. Fast forward. We at the bar. My line sister's talking to this guy, and the guy that's with him was talking to me. He's sitting over there, he's smoking his hookah, he looking cool, he looking dapper. He got on one of them like Kango style brim hats, a black vest, he was keeping it real dapper. And so it sounds corny what I'm describing now, but at that time I thought it was cute. So here I am, we talking, we vibing, da 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 da. They start playing some reggae music. I start dancing, I'm catching the vibe. That drink starts sipping in. So here I am, now I'm dancing doing a little wine two-step. Him and we dancing just a bit. We got that chemistry locked in. So we like, okay, I could do this, I feel this. So we exchange numbers. Fast forward, we go on our first date. So on our first date, it was so cute. It was at Pasha, which is in Atlanta. If y'all know Pasha, the lights be super low, so you could barely see the person, but I definitely felt his energy. But fast forward, actually rewind, before I actually got into the date, when I pulled up, he had valet greet me with a dozen of roses, which I thought was so sweet because every day he was always coming roses. And I'm like, I like this guy. He's thoughtful. So as soon as I would arrive, the roses would be right there waiting for me. And I love that. Sometimes he even had gifts, which was cool. So I love that too. But on this date, we had roses. So I go in there, we kiki, we laugh, we enjoy, we connect. All the vibes are there. Even after the date, we go to his car and we end up listening to R&B music. We even listened to some country music and saw that we had country songs in common. Because this guy, even though he like a former street guy and reformed now businessman, he likes country music. And I did too. So I'm like, okay. So we had that in common or whatever. So we just started to see we had a lot in common. We started kind of moving fast, meaning going on a lot of dates is what I mean, moving fast. We started going on a lot of dates. We started going out like every day, every other day. He would talk to me all day on the phone, be texting me, checking in. His communication was perfect. He would be wanting to involve me and stuff. Like, I want you to come to work with me. I want you to be with me all day. So things was moving in a good direction. I'm like, okay. So I started going out with him so much that people started thinking like, oh, this must be his girl. Or they started knowing me as the girl that be with him. That's how much I was hanging out with him. We was locked in like that. So we go into all the popping spots too because he was well connected in Atlanta. So we used to go to a lot of the popping spots. So, and also he had like some, I guess, some connections or like business endeavors and nightlife. So we was always at the clubs. And baby, when I tell you, I used to get through to with that one, like going to them clubs all the time in Atlanta can get through to. It could be through, okay? Just be through with it. And that's what I was. I was through with going to them clubs, but I would go as a supporter to him because he wanted me there. So I would be there with him. So anyways, another date that he took me on, which I think was like our second date, we went to a Jagged Edge concert, which was like a question and answer. And so I love Jagged Edge. And he didn't even know that. So I got to just kind of learn more about how they develop different songs, stuff like that. It was so dope. At the end of that event, I was trying to get out of the parking garage and I realized I had lost my wallet. So I'm telling him like, I lost my wallet a little bit, da da da. He like, you do not have to worry. I got you. You need any money? I got you, da 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 da. All this stuff or whatever. So he was that type of guy. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm liking this. I'm liking it. What I started to realize is every time we would leave being out at the clubs and stuff, we would always go back to my house. We never went back to his. And ladies, if you haven't been to his house, that's a big, big red flag. But at this time, remember, I was super young, so I didn't even know what red flags were or what to look out for. All I knew is that my house was comfortable. I liked being there, so I loved being there, and I loved him being there with me. That's what I knew. And we would hang out every day and be on the phone all day long and just, vibing, and he would be checking in and all that stuff with me to where I never really thought to think like, oh, where do he live and why haven't I been there? So finally, one day, I don't know what it was, but one day I just asked, like, I've never been to your house. Like, I've never been to your house. I want to go to your house. And so he was like, oh yeah, baby, you can come to my house. Da, 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 da. He like, I'm like, well, why haven't I never been? He was like, oh well, you know, it's not decorated. I'm like, well, I don't care about that. I'm not, you know, bougie like that. He like, well, also my cousin, I let my cousin stay there or whatever because he got into it with his girl, so you know it's not comfortable. I'm like, yeah, but I still want to see it. I still want to see it. Mind you, I also didn't mention at some point he did tell me he had 2 little kids. So it wasn't like he was hiding that. So I'm not going to make it seem like he was hiding that he had 2 little kids. And I never wanted to date a man with kids. Never. Especially when I was that young. I'm like, what? I don't even know what that's about. Why would I want to date a man with kids? I don't have no kids. I don't know what that looks like. I would be like a third wheel in a new party in this situation. Like, that don't sound like something I want to be a part of. But I do remember him telling me he had the 2 little ones. He had told me he had 2 kids. I don't remember when he told me the ages of them. But again, remember, y'all, I'm young, so I don't know the questions to ask. But let's get back to me never being at his house, and I had never been there before, and me asking him, hey, I want to come over. And so he was like, okay, you can come or whatever. Stay tuned for part 2 so I can tell y'all what happened when I went over his house. This is a story time about how I was held hostage at a guy's house that I was dating for 8 hours because his crazy baby mama was outside cutting up with the kids. So let's get back into it. So basically we at the part where I was asking, where do he live at? I need to go to his house. I need to see this for myself. Remember, y'all, give me some grace because I was young and dumb. I was a young girl, so I didn't know the questions to ask. And I was young and dumb. As soon as I realized that I had never been to his house, I should have just gone and cut my losses. But y'all, I was young. I was trying to make it work. I liked this guy. I was feeling him. And so I wanted to get to the bottom of it. So I remember we rode to his house. He was tired of me asking about it, so we had rode to his house. When we get there, it was a house. It was a nice house. It was like a townhouse or something like that. I did see that it was a lot of masculine energy in there, so it wasn't much feminine energy in there. So I'm like, okay, I don't see no side of a woman, so we might be in the clear. But then I did see that a cousin was there, and he was in the other room. So I'm like, okay, that part of the story is matching up, so maybe he's not lying. So I'm like, okay, I'm having hope for this situation. So we sit in the living room, we watching a reality show, we vibing, we laughing, da 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 da. And then when it's time to go to sleep, we go in his room. Now this is when it all changed because I look in the closet, which the closet was open. I wasn't even searching or trying to find nothing. The closet was right by the bathroom. And I see that in the closet, there are no clothes. There are no shoes. So how do you live here and there's no clothes and there's no shoes? Who do you think I am, boo-boo the fool? I know I might be acting like it, but come on now. So all I see is like some dry cleaning clothes. Like I see like 3 different dry cleaning outfits with the dry cleaning bags on top. So I'm like, this is getting weird because I don't see none of your stuff. And remember, this is Mr. Dapper. This is Mr. Charmer. He got on them kangaroo hats. He got on them Kango hats. He got on them big brims. He wearing suits. He wearing vests. He wearing all that. So I know you love fashion. So where are your clothes at, sir? Because every time I see you, you got something different on. So where are your clothes? So I ask him. I say, where are all your clothes and shoes at? Nothing's here. Oh, you know, he like, I'm in between places. You know, I just moved over here or whatever. So, you know, my stuff is still in the storage unit. I still have to move everything over. So that's when I started raising my because I'm like, really? So you just started moving all your stuff over here? You just moved here? What is really going on? So something feeling off for me. My intuition, my spidey senses is starting to load up because I'm like, something just ain't feeling right. So at this point, I kind of started trying to ask other little questions here and there, but it's just not getting to the bottom of the answer that I'm looking for, which is that he's lying to me. He still wouldn't admit it, so we lay down and we go to sleep. The whole night, I could not even sleep. I just laid right next to him with my eye open because I'm like, I can't trust you. So I laid there with my eye open the whole night, and I just literally just felt so betrayed and disappointed because I'm like, he's fucking lying. He does not live here because I don't see any of his stuff here, so you're lying. And the fact that you would set up this whole ploy to make me believe that you live at this place is giving criminal. It's giving manipulation. It's giving you have something wrong with you for you to set all this up. You really want to keep me in your life that bad that you're going to make this all up and act like you live here and you don't? So at that point, I remember I couldn't just spill off or nothing like that because I rode with him. And I'm just like, you know what? I had already made up in my mind, like, I just wasn't going to mess with him no more like that because I just didn't feel comfortable. I just felt something was off and I was just done with it. So I started distancing myself from him or whatever like that. And the more I would distance myself from him, the more he would pursue. So I'm like, oh, he just not letting up. He like, no, I'm not letting up on you. Like, you mine. We're going to be together, da-da-da-da, all this stuff. So I'm like, okay. So here I am trying to distance myself from him. Now, mind you, during that time of distance, I started seeing, like, more posts on Facebook because me and him was already friends on Facebook of his children. So that's when I was able to identify, like, I started seeing the pictures that the kids were very young. Like, one was, like, 3 years old and one was 1. Remember, he never lied to me about having kids. He was a really good father. He loved his children, so I'm not going to dog him like that. So I always knew he had children, but I did not know the ages. I think maybe I didn't ask, or if he told me, I didn't pay attention. I'm sure I would have remembered that, but I just think he didn't tell me. He just told me he had 2 kids, but we didn't talk about the ages. But those kids were like 3 years old and 1 year old. And again, as a woman, you know, at this grown age that I'm at now, that if a man has kids that young, we already know what time it is. But at that time, I was young and dumb, and baby, I didn't know. I didn't know the questions to ask, and I didn't have the experience to back it. So I'm seeing pictures of the kids, but I'm seeing the baby mama reposting the pictures, and I'm also seeing it. So I clicked on the baby mama page, and I'm seeing on the baby mama page, it's all these pictures of him and the kids and the baby mama with the kids. But of course, that's healthy to see the family together. But I'm thinking to myself, like, hold on, are they together or something? Because the way she was posting, it was like they was together, like the way they was still together or something, like, oh, eating ice cream as a family or something like that. And so then I'm thinking like, oh no, I'm not no homewrecker now. We're not about to do that. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what is really going on? Everything is just not adding up to me. But on his page, there's no pictures of the baby mama and no pictures of them as a family. So I'm like, it's not making no sense. He's lying about where he stays. He's lying about being with this woman. So at this point, now my eye is really turned up. So I'm really not answering calls. I'm really not responding to texts. I'm really distancing myself, because until I get an understanding of what's really going on, which the way it was looking, it wasn't looking too good. I'm like, nah, I'm falling all the way back. But it was like the more I would fall back, the more he would come pursuing. So he said, can we please just meet up so we can have a conversation? I can explain everything to you. We're going to have a heart-to-heart. I meet up with him. He came full jewelry. He bought me a whole necklace, earrings, multiple dozens of roses. All that is how he came to the date. Talk about love bombing. Either he's a charmer or he's a love bomber. But baby, I was falling for it, okay? Silly Willy, silly me. Now that I look back on it. But anyway, so we get on that date or whatever. He explained himself to me. He letting me know, like, you know, that was a place that he used to stay at, but he don't really stay there or whatever. He in between places, like he stayed there, but then he got another place. Like, it just wasn't adding up to me, the place thing. It just wasn't adding up to me. He like, but I'm about to get another place. I said, listen, I'm not dating you unless you have your own place. I do not date men that don't have their own place. So if you do not have your own place, you talking this roommate situation, you talking this, then I cannot date you. He said, okay, no problem. I already went, and I just so you know, I went on and I signed a lease at another place today. I said, you signed a lease at another place? Yeah. He said, I did a rent to own. I signed because I knew that you was probably going to come at me this way. I signed a lease at a place today. I signed a lease at this house. It's I think it was like 4 or 5 bedrooms. It was a really nice house. So he shows me the link. He like, yeah, so I'm just waiting to get approved. So, because I knew you was going to come at me this way. So once I get approved for this is where I'm going to be staying. I'm like, okay. Okay, I said, but where you staying now? He was like, oh, I stay at the place I took you to, but I kind of be there, but I'll be different places, but this is where I'm going to be staying, so that'll settle that out. So I'm like, okay, that's where you're going to be staying? The place was nice. So I'm like, okay. He making moves to show me he's serious. I said, yeah, because I'm not dealing with no man that don't have his own place, and that's in between places and doing all this, I'm not doing that. I said, figure it out, whatever you got going on, but it need to be clear about where you staying. I need to be able to come over there. Okay, well, he was like, don't worry about it, because I already signed this lease. I'm going to get approved. This is where I'm going to be. So then he had got me there. So I'm like, okay, or whatever. I said, but I also saw that, you know, your baby mama, you know, she's posting pictures of y'all, like y'all together. He said, I'm not with her. He was like, you know, of course we're a family, so we co-parent the best way we can, but we are not together. We are absolutely not together. Me and her been broke up. I've dated other women since I broke up with her, so we are not together. So here I am being a young dumb fool, believing what he say. I'm like, well, he said they're not together. I don't even go by what he tell me. He did just go and get this house. He got this house. He signed the lease. I mean, he didn't sign the lease. He applied for this house. He waiting to see if he gonna sign this lease, and then he said he gonna buy it. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe, you know, he really is an honest man. Stay tuned for part 3, y'all. Stay tuned for part 3 so y'all can see what happened after that. This is a story time about how I was held hostage for 8 hours at a guy's house that I was dating because his crazy baby mama was outside cutting up with the kids. So here we go. We left off at he had just applied for the house. The house was a beautiful house in the suburbs. And guess what? He gets approved. So he gets approved for this real nice house. So you know what comes next after a man gets approved for a house. He's going to ask you, can you help me decorate, baby? And my little silly willy self was like, I sure can, because I love decorating anyways. All my friends know that. They be asking me to help them with decor and stuff like that at their place. So that was right up my little alley. So I said, okay, you want me to help you decorate? No problem, babe. I got it. So here I am. He gave me the budget. So I started just buying all types of stuff from all different types of department stores. He told me the colors he wanted to do. He wanted the house to be black and like a rose goldish color. He wanted black and gold with a pop of rose gold or something like that. And I just remember that being his colors. And I said, oh, I ran with that. So we got that whole place together, spick and span. He has flashes of blue. We put electric fireplaces up in there, large, big old TVs, really, really nice furniture. We decked that house out. That house was a nice home. We turned the front room into like a game room with a pool table and pictures. Like, it was nice. And he was really good at decor himself, so he definitely decked his place out as well. But the touch was also mine. So we had some feminine energy in there. We had some masculine energy in there. It was a nice little combination. So here I am thinking in my head, like, hold on now. I had never had a grown man like this before that went and got a place when I said you have to have your own place and was meeting my standards and my demands. So I'm like, let me find out this might be my guy. So I'm rocking with this. Mind you, as I'm rocking with him, we're in a good place. I'm happy. Everything's going well. Well, guess what? You know he was a charmer, so he always loved to add a cherry on the top. So my birthday was coming up, and guess what he did for my birthday, y'all? Threw me a party. Threw me a whole party. Rented out a whole lounge for me to be able to have a party. And y'all know I make music. So we turned it into a listening party. And he supported the whole entire way. The whole party he planned it. And my family came into town for this party. So he meets my mom. My big brother was even in town, y'all. My big brother don't even travel like that. He met my big brother. He met my sister. He met pretty much my whole immediate family. And all my day ones, all my friends came to support me at this birthday party / listening party. We had my pictures all up. He helped and put the step and repeat up, all the pictures up. When I tell y'all this is the only man that's ever planned me a party, this is the only man that went all out to plan me a party. So I'm like, whoa, I'm not used to this. I'm like, he's going nuts. And we had been talking about my music for a while or whatever, because he had dabbled in and out with music stuff like that in the past, and we had talked about me needing a music manager and stuff like that. So at my party, he even gets on the mic for a time after I performed, and he like, I know we talked about you need a music manager, da 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 da. So I'm gonna be there for you. I'm gonna be there for you. So we all hugging. We looking like that couple that everybody wanna be. That's how we was looking. So I'm like, yeah, like he done threw me a party. Everybody going to him for everything. Any question they got at the party, my family going up to him, asking him this, da da da. He had an open bar, y'all. He even had an open bar to where people, all my friends' family was just putting stuff on the tab, which they was going overboard. I had some cousins that was doing too much, just kept putting stuff on the tab, being just too needy, too ungrateful, and too using. But the fact that he had that, I was like, wow. So at this point, I'm real sprung in. I'm real sprung out. Because up until this point, y'all, he done bought me diamond earrings, necklaces, full sets. He greets me with flowers every time I arrive. He's throwing me parties. He went and got a house to show me that he has his own place. So y'all know I'm feeling it. And then I even helped decorate the house. So now I'm thinking like, I might be moving in next. Even though I wasn't ready to move out of my place. You know how a woman's mind works. So I'm like, let me find out. This is my man. So we're in a great place. Mind you, even though we're in a great place, along the way, I'm still seeing Facebook posts from the baby mama every now and then. It'll be him with the kids and her, maybe at like an arcade or at the park. Mind you, I don't know if these is old photos or new photos, so I don't know. I only can go by what he's telling me. And again, on his page, there are no photos of her at all whatsoever, and there were no photos of them as a family. It would just be him with his kids by himself and stuff like that. And it was also sometimes when she would just post herself, so it was kind of confusing. Because I'm like, what I really think looking back is that they was on bad terms. So like when they was on good terms, she would post him, but when they was on bad terms, she wouldn't. So it was hard for me to identify if they was together or they were not together. I don't know. I personally think as I look back over it that they weren't together, but just continue to listen and you'll see. But I definitely think he was playing. But we'll get into that. So basically him and I are on good terms, but every time I see her posting pictures as them as a family with hard eyes and stuff, again, y'all, I don't have no kids, so of course I'm gonna be looking sideways like, yes, I want y'all to be a family unit, but it's giving relationship, it's giving y'all are together. So I would question him every time. So that would become a problem in the relationship, me questioning him about the photos, because I was insecure about that because I didn't have the clarity that I needed to feel safe in the connection. And I was trying to get reassured. And so he wasn't able to reassure me each time. He would just tell me like, no, I'm not with her, da da da. She just crazy. You know, they love to put the crazy title on the baby mama. She just crazy, da 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 da, but I'm not with her, da da da. So I was believing him. I was rocking with him. So we continue on our regular life. Still going out to the clubs every day. Still going to the lounges. Still doing business as usual. Now, I'm at the house every day. So now I'm cooking all the time at the house. I done taught him my grandma's French toast recipe. My grandma Hattie, she make French toast a specific way. I done taught him how to make grandma's French toast recipe. I'm in the house. I'm cooking chicken and dumplings, lasagna, all types of stuff. See, this is back when I used to eat meat. Now I'm pescatarian. But I was throwing down in the house, cooking him all types of Sunday dinners, all types of stuff. When his mama would come over, which I never met her at this time, she would get to taste my food like, oh, that girl really know how to cook, all types of stuff. So when the mama say the girl know how to cook, you know you know how to cook. So I feel like I'm in there like swimwear at this point. So I'm like, hold on now. This might be my man. This might be my family. I haven't met the kids yet at this point. But I'm like, hold on, this might be my man. Remember, I'm younger than him. I'm dumber than him. I'm new to Atlanta. I don't have a support system or a family around me. I just had my auntie that lived there, and I had my cousin that lived there. But I pretty much was like a fish out of water, just trying to find my way. And here go this man. He swoop in, and he coming in like this. So, of course, I'm a fall for it, right? I ain't got no experience at this point. I'm a young buck. So, again, we cooking at the house. We in a good space. We having arguments here and there. The arguments is about that baby mama and about why she posted him, da-da-da-da. But we're in a good space until we're not. So, here we go. After I have my birthday party, at this point, I'm thinking like, oh, this my man. So my family even started coming over his house from time to time. Like my family be in town, my family would come over his house. My whole family would be over there. We would be cooking. We would be playing cards. We would be laughing. We would be drinking. He loved to host. So we will be having a good time. At this point, he has completely won my family over. My family had only met one other guy other than him my whole time, my whole life. And the last guy that they met was a guy I was engaged to. We didn't get married, but it was a guy I was engaged to. So my family had never met or seen me this happy with anybody. So here I am thinking I found my knight in shining armor. And I'm in just the most happy, elated place I could have ever been in my life. Until I wasn't. Stay tuned for part 4. This is a story time about how I was held hostage at a guy's house that I was dating for 8 hours because his crazy baby mama was outside cutting up with the kids. So this is part 4. Where we left off at pretty much him and I were in a good space. We actually had a heart-to-heart. That's what got us to that good space. We had a heart-to-heart, and he pretty much sat me down saying basically how he had got his heart broken by a reality star. She wasn't a reality star at that time, but she ended up taking off, became a reality star, blah, blah, blah. And that hurt him so bad. That was his first heartbreak. And then from there, he moved on to another young lady, which was the baby mama. And that broke his heart or whatever, just how toxic the relationship was. So he didn't really have it in him to give his heart away again, but he was willing to try for me. So I fell for that or whatever. I'm like, you know what? He's showing up. His actions are aligning with his words. So, hey, he's saying he's going to give me his heart. I'm feeling like I have his heart, so I'm going to give it a try. So that's what got us to that good space that we was at. But it seemed like the more he would fall for me, the more possessive he would become. But I would let the possessiveness slide because I'm like, I would rather my man be into me than not into me. So a lot of the possessiveness that he used to do, like pretty much he like low-key one time we was out, we was going to the lounges and stuff like that. He's just sat me down and said, listen, I don't want you to look at anybody when we out. I don't even want you to look up and look at anybody. And I'm like, what tip is he on? Because I don't even be looking at nobody like that. Like, of course, I'm going to clock the room. I'm going to look at the doors and da-da-da because I'm from Detroit. So I've been in environments growing up as a kid, high school, middle school, where the whole party, high school party, whatever, house party, club, whatever, was pew-pewed up. So now, you know what I'm saying, that's a trauma response for me to look around and make sure that I'm good at all times. Even if I do feel safe with my man, I'm still going to look around, you know. So that was a trauma response, but I was never looking at no guys, especially in the eyes or in the face or nothing like that. But he sat me down and straight up told me, like, listen, I don't want you to look at any guys when we out. So I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, this is kind of weird and this is kind of excessive, but okay, if that's what you say, but I'm going to do my best not to look at anybody. He didn't want me looking at anybody. Like, that's just extreme. I should have known that was off then, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe he's just tripping on me, so I'm going to let this slide. But then he was like one time he had a business partner and the business partner had a woman with him, which was like his girl or something. So while they doing business, we sitting together at the table, me and her talking, we connect, we get cool. She asked for my Instagram, so I give her my Instagram. And after his meeting, do you know he was mad that she asked for my Instagram and I gave it to her? He like, when we're out, I don't want you to give anybody your Instagram. You shouldn't be connecting with anybody while we're out. Like, that's just weird. I'm like, looking at him like, so you don't want me to make any connections? You don't want me to network? He like, unless you ask me like, hey, I'm going to exchange Instagrams with her, I don't think you should be doing that. I'm looking at him like, this is excessive. So first, you don't want me to look around at anybody. Mind you, yes, I know as a woman, it could be inviting to be looking at men or whatever like that. I mean, to look men in the eyes. So I never did that. I never was doing that. I wasn't talking to nobody else. I wasn't looking at nobody. Why would I be looking at other men like that when I'm with my men? Why would I be looking at other men, period, like that if I'm happy with the man I'm with, which is what I was. But he was just tripping on me. So like I said, the more he would fall for me, the more possessive he would become. So even though he was acting insecure, he also had some great qualities. As I mentioned before, he was putting me in the studio. I'm working with platinum producers. He's sitting through my whole studio sessions. He's starting to act like a manager. He giving me input on the stuff I'm saying, on the stuff I'm doing. He coming in the booth. At this time, I'm only rapping because I didn't feel comfortable singing yet. I hadn't grown into my voice. So I'm like, okay, hold on. He's supportive and stuff like that. When I'm going to work with him, he meeting with clients. You know, he doing his different stuff because he owned the business. But also, he would be doing whatever he doing. And he leaving with stacks of money. And he giving me some money on it. And I'm younger, so I need some of that money too. So I'm taking that money and I'm thankful for the money that I'm getting. So the good was definitely outweighing the bad. And when he would do that possessive stuff that I would consider insecure, it would be every now and then. It started to pick up a lot, but it would be every now and then. Also, when my family come into town, my sister and my mama stayed the night at his house. We playing spades till we can't stay up no more. We wake up in the morning, he cooking my grandma's French toast recipe that I taught him for my family. Got the R&B jams going, got the hookah running. He got it a whole vibe, and he woke them up to roses. My mom got a dozen of roses. My sister got a dozen of roses. All of us got a dozen of roses. You know I had a dozen of roses at my bed. So he was definitely coming on real tough with the charm. So even though he had his different negative qualities, the good was definitely outweighing the bad. So that's just what it was. Also, you know, I don't know. I just felt like it was worth still sticking it out through. That's the reason why I didn't walk away, even when he started kind of being possessive. And like I said, I didn't know what red flags were at that time because I was very young at this time. I'm a grown woman today. Try me now. But at that time, I didn't know what red flags were for real like that. So one night, the possessiveness just went too far for me. We was at the club. It was like we got in an argument or whatever. It was like more of like a silent retreat type argument, but it was like a quiet argument, but it was a lot of tension there. Nobody else knew we was arguing, but me and him knew we was arguing. And it was over, I think, him saying like I looked at somebody when they walked past, and I'm looking at him like I didn't even look at them, and why am I even being questioned about this by you? When really, you know, when somebody doing something they not supposed to do, they project their stuff onto you because they know that you be solid and they're not, and so they're guilty, so they put their stuff on you. So I'm like, this is too much insecurity for me. So I thought, you know, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home because I didn't want to be at the club anyways. Meanwhile, we at the same clubs because he a regular, and now I'm looking like I'm regular because I'm always with you, but I'm just trying to support you, but I really got stuff to do in the morning, like go to work. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna bow out and I'm gonna go home because if I stay here, I'm gonna argue with you. So I go home. I go to my car. I'm about to go home. I go to my car. I see this man sprinting. I ain't never seen nobody sprint so fast in my life. This man sprints down to my car. I see him through my rearview mirror. He gets down to my car, open my door. I'm like, what's up? Like, you just told me to go. You know how people want to act all ego driven, like they don't care you leaving. So I left. So he get in my car, we have another heart to heart. He being all cool and trying to be nice and stuff like that. And he like, well, let me check your phone. So I'm like, okay, you can check my phone because my phone is squeaky clean. I have nothing to hide. Zero de nada. I ain't messing with nobody. I ain't talking to nobody. I only was kicking it with this man. I was dating this man only. But I didn't have eyes for nobody else. So I didn't care. He checked my phone. He don't find nothing. So I'm like, okay, since we checking phones, let me check yours. Mind you, I don't check phones, nor do I even care that bad to be checking your phone because I'm not going to go look to get my feelings hurt. But remember, I'm much younger than him, and clearly he acts a little childish because he want to check my phone. But I'm like, since we checking phones, let me check yours, and I'm about to one-up this situation. So y'all know I don't care to see what's in that phone because I'm not trying to get my little heart broken. But what I do want to see is these messages from that baby mama because I want to know if y'all really done because this is the confirmation that I've been looking for. Because on Facebook posts and stuff like that, I never got the clarity I needed because remember, this is my first time being in the ghetto. This is my first time ever dealing with baby mama, baby daddy drama. So I didn't know what to expect and I didn't know what to ask. So I'm like, you know what? That message is going to tell it all. I got straight to the messages. Do y'all know that this girl was asking him to buy her some scrubs because she was a nurse or something like that? And he was sending her links from Amazon of the different scrubs saying, what color do you want, and buying them for her. And when I asked him, I said, why are you buying her clothes? What is going on? Why are you buying her work stuff? He like, well, because I feel like if I can make my baby mama's life easier, she'll be a better mother to my kids. Y'all, he had an excuse for everything. So I'm like, I'm not used to this. Like, I'm used to either child support or you paying for the kids and stuff like that. But buying her work clothes and stuff, and buying her clothes, I mean, it was work stuff, but it just was a little uncomfortable for me because I'm not used to this. So then I'm like, okay, you know what? He got an excuse for that. But then I look and I scroll some more. I see that she had sent him a picture of her in a sundress a little bit prior, but this was during the time that I was dating him. And he messaged her back, like basically telling her to take that off because she had too much cleavage showing and it was inappropriate. And where was she going and who was she going to go meet with? Because I think she was trying to like make him jealous or something, saying like she was going on a date or she was about to go meet up for dinner or something like that. But my thing is, why do you care what she has on? And why are you telling her she got too much cleavage showing, like you're still her man, but you're trying to deal with me and you're supposed to be with me? What is we doing? Like, what is going on here? Like, so you're lying to me because why do you care so much about what that girl got on? So that's when I knew, oh, we playing a game. So that's when I was done. I was done. I told him, you know what? You can get out of my car. I almost wanted to take that phone and throw it out that window so bad, but I had to keep all my composure, all my self-control together. And I said, you know what? You can get out of my car. And after that, stay tuned for part 5 so I can tell y'all what happened. This is a story time about how I was held hostage at a guy's house that I was dating for 8 hours because his baby mama was outside cutting up with the kids. So this is part 5. We left off at me being done with him and me moving on with my life. Thank God. Here he comes popping up at my house because y'all know he used to come to my house all the time before he got the house that he got approved that he went and got for me to be with me. So he pops up at my house. He keeps popping up at my house. So I finally just be like, we have conversations. And I'm like, all right, I give in. We make up. I know y'all. Silly Willy Rabbit. Call me Silly Willy Rabbit at this point, okay? But remember, I'm much younger than him. I don't have that much relationship experience. And, you know, I'm just thinking like, this is my man fighting for me. And I'm just going to try to fight for the relationship. And he had an excuse for every little thing. Talking about he buying her clothes, her work clothes to make it easier for his children to grow up in the house. And all this different stuff. And said that the message about the sundress was old and before we was dating it was just lie after lie, y'all. So I was believing it. I'm like, you know what, nobody's gonna go this extreme, these levels to be lying, so it must be the truth. Y'all know I'm silly for thinking that, but that's what I thought. So at this point, I laid down the ground rules. I said, listen, if we about to do this, if I'm going to give you another shot, I need to meet your kids. I need to be involved with the kids. I need to be involved. We need to be a family unit. And I need to meet her at some point because at this point, like, that's just what needs to happen. Because if not, this ain't going to work because I'm not about to keep doing this. I don't have no kids. So let's stop acting like I have the kids and I have to deal with all this drama because I don't. But that's the kind of the ground rules that I set. At that time, he like, listen, I want you to meet the kids. I really, really want you to meet the kids. But she already made it clear to me that if I have any woman around my kids, she's going to put me on child support. She's not going to let me see my children anymore. So if it gets back to her that I have somebody around the kids, then I'm not going to be able to see my kids. And granted, he was a really good father. So he was like really just letting me know, like, I want you to meet them so bad. You will meet them, but just be patient because I don't want, you know, me to ruin it from being able to spend time with my children, So after this time, I'm like trying to be patient. I'm trying to be patient. Her Facebook post slowed down. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're really done. And I'm just like trying to trust this man. Trying my best to trust this man. So I literally, you know, fall back. I'm still talking to him, still spending time, but I'm kind of like, you know, not giving my 100%, but kind of giving my 100%. But, you know, I'm seeing that he's spending a lot of time with his kids and stuff like that. And anytime he's spending time with the kids, I can't be there. So, for example, if the kids had to come to his house, he would tell me in advance, like, yeah, the kids are coming tomorrow at this time. And I needed to make sure that I left at that time so that I wouldn't be there while the kids was there because he didn't want to disrespect her rules, which I understood that. But I'm like, how long is this gonna go on? Because how long am I gonna just have to always leave when the kids is coming, when I want to be involved in the kids' life because I'm trying to be with you, and you saying you want to be with me? How long are we gonna keep doing this separation thing? Because it's not working for me. Or if he was at my house, like I said, he would be leaving my house at 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning for what? To go get the kids or whatever, because he said that she would be getting off work. I mean, no. He said that, keep that in mind, y'all. Keep that in mind. Actually, not that she would be getting off work. He said that she had to go to work. He said she had to go to work, so he had to, be back by 6 to watch the kids, to get the kids to watch them at his house, or be at his house for her to drop the kids off so that she can go to work. Keep that in mind. Keep that thought in mind, y'all, because y'all going to see something that come up later. So I was getting tired of the separation. So at this point, I'm starting to feel like maybe I should just be doing my own thing. I'm too young for all of this stuff. So I literally just decided, you know what? I'm going to take a trip to the Dominican Republic. And what my last straw was about taking a trip to the Dominican Republic was when he had a family brunch. He had a family brunch with his mom, with his kids, and with the baby mama. And they all had a family brunch. And I saw the pictures. And do y'all know that at the family brunch, he made the French toast, my grandma's recipe of the French toast that I taught him? What? My grandma had these recipes. God rest her soul, rolling over. He made them the French toast that I taught him about. And they had their family brunch. And guess who was not invited? Me. Because she don't want nobody around the kids. She still wants them to have a family unit. How long is that going to work for me? Because that type of arrangement wasn't going to work for me. Because I wanted to be a family. I wanted to be inclusive. I wasn't trying to be separated. Those were not my children. But if I was going to take him as my man and as my husband in the future, which is what I thought we was working towards, which thank God we weren't. But them was going to be my kids too. So in my mind, I'm thinking we all should be here. But no, because she didn't want that and because he was playing a role, they had a brunch. So after that, I said, yeah, I'm baby, what is this? This is giving family. This is giving together. This is giving everything but me not being in it. Me being something with you and me not being included in everything. And I'm not feeling that. So I took me a trip to the Dominican Republic. I went to the Dominican Republic and I literally went out there. I had a great time. I met my cousin. I met my friends. And literally, as soon as I'm at the Dominican Republic trip, now he want to be FaceTime me. And guess what? Guess who want to FaceTime with him as soon as he called me on the FaceTime? The kids. So now that I done took a trip and he see that now I'm starting to distance myself and pull away, now I can meet the kids easily. So now he FaceTime me with the kids. I meet the kids. He like, I want you to meet my son. I want you to meet my daughter. Da, 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 da. So I meet the kids. Kids are beautiful. I meet the kids. So if it was so easy for me to meet the kids, why did it take for me to go out the country to the Dominican Republic and live and enjoy my life for me to meet the children? And then he like, as soon as you get back, I want you to meet them. We're going to be all one family. So I guess me taking that trip kind of scared him a little bit because it felt like I was starting to pull away a little too far and get distant and start moving on my young life, which I should have been doing. So that's when he decided, you know what, let her meet the kids. So when I get back, I finally meet the kids in person. Beautiful children. We hit it off. The kids love me. I love the kids. So I'm like, okay, I could do this. I don't know if he was sneaking and doing that because the kids was young. They probably wasn't going to go report back that they was with me. But I don't know. Maybe the kids would have. But it was mighty funny that now that I came back, now I could easily meet them. But it was such a big deal before and it was so much separation and causing so much conflict. But I'm like, you know what? We're past that now. I met the kids. Because when you're dealing with people with baby mamas and baby daddies, it's like you have to constantly set boundaries about what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with. And it's all this compromise. So that was a big thing. And I wasn't used to that because I'm just solo dolo. I'm younger. I'm not used to all of this compromise and all this back and forth. So I'm thinking we're in a great space. I done met the kids, the arguments, they still there, but we not spending as much time as we used to, a little bit less time, but at least we starting to make a little bit of progress to have a real relationship and move more towards like a family unit or like a real thing or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. Mind you, I was also helping out with his business too. Like I pretty much had got him interns for his company to help out with his company. So I was like managing the interns and stuff like that. So it was stuff I was still doing, but I started to kind of pull back from doing some of those things little by little because I just started to feel like the connection was a little rocky. And so until we got back to like that real solid place, I was just kind of like slowing down a little bit on the pedal. But me meeting the kids was a big step in the right direction. So then, fast forward, we spent New Year's together. So during New Year's, we cook. We had this grand time. We had got like matching caps, little blowhorns and stuff. And we just had the best time ever to bring in New Year's together. And so I heard him in his office on FaceTime with his baby mama because he wanted to see his kids for New Year's, of course. And he FaceTimed the kids, and I heard their conversation. And in the conversation, I finally was able to see, like, oh, wow, they really are done. You know, she probably just still wants to be with him at this period of time. I think before he was playing the game, he was playing both hands. But at this period of time, I could hear in the conversation that, you know, she was upset, like, oh, you spending New Year's with her. She didn't know who I was, but she knew it was a her or whatever. And so she was upset or whatever, and I could hear in the tone that they probably hadn't been together or whatever like that. Like he had probably set some boundary with her, letting her know that he was moving on and he had somebody else and da-da-da-da, because he was feeling like he was losing me. So I'm like, okay, finally, I think it's honesty here now from everybody and for everybody. So I'm like, okay, we could probably do this. So that was great. We were in a great space. So from like New Year's to Valentine's Day, you know, we're getting back to a better space. Things are going in the right direction. Valentine's Day come, he go all out for Valentine's Day, y'all. All out for Valentine's Day. Y'all already know this is Mr. Roses. So literally, when I pull up to the restaurant, we had already went to like a concert, like another day for Valentine's Day. And then on Valentine's Day, I pull up to the really nice restaurant. I have flowers for every meal, for every course of the meal. For appetizer, I had a dozen of roses. For entree, dozen of roses. Dessert, dozen of roses. And with every dozen of roses, I had a gift. So I have like a watch. I have like diamond earrings. I have like, it was a full experience. And he had the servers bringing out the gifts with every course. So when the appetizer would come, a server would bring out the appetizer, and then here came my dozen of roses. And then another server would bring out my gifts. So he had this completely strategized. Long stem roses. It was a beautiful experience. I literally was bawling, crying the whole experience, which that used to happen often because that was the first time that I was feeling so appreciated from that love, in that love language of receiving gifts and acts of service and stuff like that. So the brother had that down pat, okay? So then after that, it was just the most beautiful time. So, you know, of course, after that, we going back to the house. What y'all think gonna happen? So we get back to the house, but guess what? What y'all thought was gonna happen did not happen. It didn't happen because when I get to the house, I had house shoes at that house. Why? I saw my house shoes kind of like thrown in the closet in like the guest bedroom, like they were hidden, like they were thrown, like they had been hidden somewhere, like he was trying to hide them. And I'm looking like, and like some of my other belongings and stuff were kind of like hidden in the other guest room. And I only knew that because I had went in there or whatever to get something. It was like a light bulb or something I needed to switch out. I saw it needed to be switched out at the house because, like, remember, I act like I used to live at that house too. And I looked in the closet and I saw that. I was like, why is my house shoes in here? Like, last time I left my house shoes under the bed. And like, why is my belongings like kind of like stuff, like you could tell that they had been, that he was trying to hide my stuff. So I'm like, and then another thing I noticed was that his dryer was messed up at that time. He had to get the dryer fixed. So why I see something hanging on the shower rod that pretty much signified that a woman had to be there, because I can't even say it on TikTok what it was and what it was used for. But basically what it was used for was something that only I should have been using, but it was already used. So since it was already used, that means you already used it with somebody else, which means that another woman was here and you done did something that you done did something with somebody else very recently, because your dryer only been broken for like this week for a couple of days. So you done did something with somebody else with something that really was mine, or would have been, or something that I would have used. Sorry, I can't be so specific with y'all because I don't want to get, you know, banned on here with the stuff I'm saying or make it too explicit. But pretty much, it was pretty much clear evidence. There was no way around it that somebody else had been there, that he was trying to hide my stuff, and that he used something that I would have used with somebody else. So, and that's why on Valentine's Day, he didn't get nada from Mwamwa. Like, what? What is we doing? So right when we in a good space, now it's revealing to me that you doing something you ain't supposed to. So you already know who I thought it was, that baby mama. So that's exactly who I thought it was. Like, oh, so you still that's who you being intimate with. So at this point, I'm done. So I go off. I'm livid. Mind you, I don't know if I mentioned, but around the time we had took a break, around the time when I went to the Dominican Republic, I said I was done. We took a break, you know, So that's when somebody slipped in. Somebody slipped in the cracks during that time that I said I was done and we took a break. So whoever this person was, whether it had been a baby mama or somebody new, somebody slid in through the cracks, and this would have been that person. I mean, I don't know if that's would have been that person, but that's what made him think it was okay to do that, to start going another direction. Or maybe he was always going another direction. Let me not give him too much credit, because stay tuned for part 6. This is a story time about how I was held hostage for 8 hours at a guy's house that I was dating because his baby mama was outside cutting up with the kids. So we left off on Valentine's Day. He went all out for me, and then it turned around and he showed his you-know-what. He showed his you-know-what. He showed all of his hands. All his hands he was trying to play, all the cards he was trying to play, when I saw that thing in the bathroom hanging on the shower rod that only I would have used. So what we doing? So, I'm going nutsos because we just had the most grand time. And, that's a very conflicting energy because on one note, I'm so happy about everything that he just did and how he's made this day such a special day for me. And then on the other end, I'm like, what the heck? Why is my house shoes hidden in this closet? Why are some of my belongings hidden in this closet? And why the heck was somebody else using my stuff? So, I'm like, oh, no. So I'm already trying to head out this door. So he begging, he pleading. He getting on his knees, he pleading, he like, no, it's not what you think. I just moved that over there because I had washed this and I washed that and I'm like, but why did you have to wash it if I hadn't used it? I hadn't been over here to use it, so why did you have to wash it? And he like, because, I had spilled something on it, the kids had spilled something on it, so I washed it. So y'all know he got more excuses. This was Mr. Excuse. We ain't even gonna call him Mr. Roses. We gonna call him Mr. Excuse. This person had all of the answers. Anytime I would question anything, this person had all the answers about why something was there. What's happening, how it was. Now, mind you, I never had no hardcore proof about stuff. I always had speculations. Now, that being there and being used was hardcore proof because why was it used? But again, he's talking about the kids spilled something on it. Do you think I'm boo-boo the fool? Who do you think I am? Okay? Because I don't believe you. But here I am. I'm mad. I'm over this. I'm like, you know what? I'm so done with this. So that completely ruined my Valentine's Day. He like, you all I got, please. He begging. Like, please, we just got back to a good space. Mind you, remember we took that time off too. So he tried to bring that up. Like, you told me you didn't want nothing to do with me no more. And and I would never do that. But you weren't talking to me. And, so I just want you to put that out there. Like, you keep putting space between us. And So, he trying to hold me accountable for how I keep pushing him away, but I'm pushing him away because I'm not feeling secure in the connection. I'm feeling like something's off, okay? And it was. In the end, something was off. So I was trusting my intuition. So I was just trying to figure it out. I was dealing with him, but I was figuring out as I go, like we do with most people. But now I'm much wiser, so it don't take me that long to figure it out, baby. I know, just like this, okay? But anyway, so basically we arguing, whatever, is going like that, right? So I'm saying I'm done, So I ended up actually staying the night that night because it was late. And like I said, he lives very, very far from me. And I was just like, you know what? And I definitely I drove because this is the next part of the story. So I was like, you know what? I'm just stay the night or whatever because I was so over it. Literally, I was emotionally drained because we sat there and had a heart to heart. Like me and this person literally, we would sit there and have heart-to-hearts like we was in full therapy sessions, like we had a mediator or something like that. We would even write out our thoughts, our feelings, and pass them to each other, and he would write out his thoughts and feelings and pass them to me so that we can have like a letter, like try to write each other a letter when we get into it to like try to really help each other understand from both perspectives. So we do all of this, and when I tell y'all, this stuff is energetically draining. It's draining. And on Valentine's Day, after all of this just beautiful time, you would think that we would be able to relax in harmony. No, that's not what happened. So I ended up staying the night because I'm like, you know what? I'm over it. In my mind, I'm thinking like, you know what? I'm done with him. I'm about to move on from this. This is going to be the end of it for me anyway. So I just stayed this last night, but I wasn't doing nothing. These things was like this. I was like this. You know what I'm talking about? Them lower legs were like this. Wasn't nothing about to pop. But I just was like, you know what? I'm not about to make myself uncomfortable by trying to leave in the middle of the night and drive far to my house. I had drinks and stuff at the dinner. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave in the morning and I'm done. That's going to be that. While the morning time come, y'all, mark my words, Y'all know he likes to wake up, try to make the French toast that he always make. That's the only thing I feel like he knew how to cook or something. Because once I taught him that meal, that's all that man used to be making for real. Had the hookah rolling, had the music going, I try to set a mood. But I'm still not feeling it. We talked a little bit that morning about what happened, Actually, I don't wake up early, so it was more so afternoon. So we talk a little bit about it or whatever, and I'm just over it. I'm still just over it. He don't know I'm so over it. I told him I was done, but I don't think he knew how over it I was. Mark my words, y'all. As soon as we finish talking, we upstairs. This is a big house. We upstairs. And it starts raining. Before it starts raining, no, actually right before it starts raining, I guess he heard a car pull up outside. Y'all won't believe who was outside in the car. The baby mama was outside in the car. So she pulls up to the house, and she never even came to knock at the door. I guess looking back, what happened was she had been calling his phone and he wasn't answering the phone. Mind you, it was Valentine's Day, and he with me. So she was blowing his phone up, and I guess he wasn't answering the phone. So she decided she gonna pull up. So here I am, I'm in the house. I don't even know what's going on. All I know is I'm about to start packing my stuff because I'm about to go on ahead to my house, and I'm already decided I was gonna be moving forward from him. Well, do you know that when he looked out the window, I could just see he kind of got nervous. And I'm like, everything okay? Because I don't know who's out the window. I don't know what car's out there because I'm packing my stuff up and minding my business. It's a regular day. He starts looking nervous, like he done seen a ghost outside, out his window. We're upstairs. He's looking outside the window downstairs. So I'm like, is everything okay? He like, and then he like just peeking out the window, like trying to peek like this, like looking like he don't know how he about to handle this. And I'm like, you good? He like, yeah, my baby mama outside, man. She tripping. She been blowing my phone up. I'm like, what? I'm like, why is she outside? I'm like, okay, are you gonna go out there and talk to her? He like, no, she just been blowing my phone up. I mean, hold on. So then I don't know if he like decide he gonna text or what he decide he gonna do. He definitely didn't call that girl back. I think he started like trying to text her or something like that. I don't know. I think he tried to text her, and like I'm just looking like, what is this? This is ghetto, and this is drama, and this is something that I'm not about to be a part of. So I'm just gonna go on and leave. That's what I started packing my stuff even quicker because I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go on and go home. Stay tuned for the next part so y'all can know what happened right after that. This is a story time about how I was held hostage at a guy's house that I was dating for 8 hours because his baby mama was out there cutting up with the kids. So we left off she pulled up at the house. I'm looking out the window, and I'm debating on if I'm about to go outside or what I'm about to do. But see, I'm a grown woman. At this time, I was like a young girl. But I still was a little bit mature. I was immature, but I was a little bit mature to know, like, this is his affairs. This is a man's affairs. That's your baby mama. You need to handle that. So I'm not the type of person that's just going to let my emotions and stuff like that haywire on me and make bad decisions. However, my tensions was boiling. Like, my whole body was on fire because I wanted to go out there and nut up and do something because I felt offended. Like, she didn't know who was in that house. She knew somebody was in that house and stuff like that, but I just felt like, why am I even in this situation? And this is my first encounter with dealing with somebody with kids, and so this is like a little bit crazy for me. So anyways, at this point, me and him, things were already going downhill. We were already not in the best place to begin with. So now she pulling up to the crib, this about to make it worse. So basically, she started knocking at the door. Now, before she started knocking at the door, remember, y'all, she honking that horn. So I'm like thinking to myself, why is she honking the horn? And I'm looking at him like he texting back and forth like a texting match or something like that. And I'm just looking at him like, why won't he just go downstairs and talk to her? Like, I don't get, what is he hiding from? If he's single and he's moved on, then like, what are you hiding from? Oh, excuse me. That was a big one. So that already was a red flag for me. So she's just honking that horn. Again, remember, I see the kids with her. She on a white beater. She on, I think, some jogging pants. She got the 2 kids with her, one on the hip, one on the ground. So I'm like, this is a little bit weird. This is too much. I got to get out of this situation. But like I said, she pulled up behind my car. My car was in the garage. My car was in the driveway, but in the garage. So you don't see my car, but her car is literally right behind my car. He parks on the same side of the garage every day. So her knowing him, she gonna know what side he park on, meaning she's smart enough to know that whoever else is in this house is parked on this other side. So she intentionally parked behind my car to where I couldn't just get in my car, open the garage, and leave. I had to literally ask her to leave, or he had to ask her to move her car so that I can leave. So I'm pretty much stuck in this dang on house. I'm not stuck in this house, but my car is stuck in here, meaning I can't leave yet. So I'm asking him, say, hey, you gonna go talk to her? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to her. So I'm just sitting here looking at him like a couple minutes, 10 minutes passing by, 15 minutes passing by. She honking the horn. I'm just looking like, why is he not gonna go talk to her? Because in a minute, if you don't go talk to her, I'm gonna go talk to her. So then she starts to finally come knock at the door. So now she's banging at the door, but she's not just banging at the door. She's kicking the door. She's kicking the door. So I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, I told him, I'm about to go down there. He like, please, please, please don't go down there. I'm gonna handle it. I'm gonna handle it. Please, just let me handle it. So I'm trying to be respectful because this is his baby mama. These are his children. And, you know, this is his life. Like, this is his stuff. I'm a part of the life, but this ain't got nothing to do with me. So I respected it at first. He said he gonna handle it. I respected it. But after a certain amount of time, like 30 minutes passed, and you still haven't handled it, you just texting back and forth and stuff like that. I think she calling back to back to back. He not picking up the phone, but he texting her back right away. So they having like a text battle. At some point, I'm getting to the point where I'm ready to go. Like, I'm done packing up all my stuff. I'm ready to get out of this house because this is ghetto and this is ratchet. So then it starts raining. So now it's pouring down raining, and she's honking this horn, and she's doing all of this stuff in the rain. She's kicking the door. She's having a tantrum. She's yelling. She's screaming, da-da-da. So I decide I'm going to try to go downstairs. He stops me like, no, I told you to stay upstairs. Please just stay upstairs. I'm going to handle this. I got this. So now he getting mad. He getting rah-rah. I'm like, this is just too much. How did I get into this? Just by dating you. How did I become a part of this stuff? What did I do to be a part of this? And I'm a young buck. I'm like, why am I in this? So then after that, she busts one of the windows. So now she busted one of the windows. So at this point, it's like an hour done passed. And I know that sound like, how did the whole hour pass? An hour passed because me and him was up in there arguing. I'm going back and forth for him. I'm arguing with him. I'm asking him, like, why is she here? What is going on? So we're arguing. Me and him are arguing for a whole hour while she out there honking the horn, while she out there screaming, being belligerent, while she kicking the door, while she busted the window, all this stuff. So me and him arguing at least for a whole hour. We up there. So at this point, or it could have been almost like an hour and a half, me and him arguing done went past. And he still haven't went down there to go talk to the girl. He just, like, when she called, I think he like picking up and hanging up and then just texting her back. But he has not called her. He has not went down there. So you already know at this point, I know I'm done with him. I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with this type of person. You're not even like man enough to go, or mature enough to go downstairs and talk to this woman and have your children. And you see that she's out here in the rain. I actually felt bad for her because it was raining. Like, you're not going to bring your kids into the house. You're not going to bring her into the house. It's fucking raining. You're just going to let her be outside in the rain. And so me being like a girl's girl, I'm just like kind of like disturbed by this. Like, why are you letting her just sit out there? And why can't I go out there? And so then, but I did tell him, I said, listen, it seemed like she ratchet, she ghetto, she real tempered. If I go out there, he like, if you go out there, she's gonna fight you. Y'all are gonna fight. She's that type of person. She tries to fight every woman that I've ever been with, because he's been with other women after her. So he like, every woman that I've ever been with, she's tried to fight. So just know that she's gonna try to fight you. So as soon as I open that door, she's gonna fight you. So he twisted where he like, I'm trying to protect you. That's why I'm not trying to let her in his house, because if I let her in his house, then y'all both gonna be fighting, and I don't want all that fighting in front of my kids, and I don't want her to touch you and stuff like that. I'm not trying to bring that on you. So that's why I don't want to open that door, because I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying to protect you. So I'm sitting here thinking in my head like, okay, so you trying to protect me, but now your kids is out in the rain because she won't leave. He like, well, she brought that on herself. She came over here. She popped up over here. She should have came over here, da-da-da-da, or whatever like that. So after, I would say, at least like 2 hours of me and him arguing back and forth, I'm just sitting in there. I'm so mad. I'm texting my best friend, crashing out. Like, I'm stuck up in this house. I'm irritated. I want to leave. I've tried to go downstairs. He done stopped me more than one time. And I'm not the type of person that's like aggressive with men. So if a man tell me to go upstairs and he kind of like acting a little bit like aggressive, like he never like, you know, hit me or nothing like crazy like that, but if you already heated, she out there like that, I'm not about to be pushing you. I'm not an antagonizing type of woman when it comes to men. I don't do that. So you told me to go upstairs, I'm gonna go upstairs, but guess what? When I get out of this, I'm not messing with you no more. And that's what I felt in my heart of hearts, because I knew I was already done. So I'm like just upstairs for like 2 hours at this point, done passed, and I'm just like irritated. So I would say the first 2 hours was just me and him arguing back and forth. This girl sat out there for 2 hours honking her horn. She done busted one of the windows down in the kitchen area. So for 2 hours, me and him is just arguing, going back and forth about me telling him I'm done with him, how I'm moving on, all this stuff like that. So that's the first 2 hours. So then finally, she end up we looking out the window. She starts waving a black object. a black object right out of her. She literally is waving a black object in the air. And do y'all want to know what that black object is? Can y'all just imagine what that black object is that she's waving? Mind you, one kid is on one hip, one kid is on the ground, and she's waving this black object in this suburban area in daylight, acting up like this in the rain. Stay tuned for the next part so you can know what that black object is that she was waving around in the air like she about to, yeah, that happened. This is a story time about how I was held hostage for 8 hours at a guy's house I was dating because his baby mama was outside cutting up with the kids. So we left off at she's outside, and now I'm looking out the window and I see she's waving this up in the air, a black thing. So I'm like, I know she don't have that out here. I know she crazy. I know she real delulu and crazy about you, but I didn't know she was that crazy. So here I am in this house, stuck. The new woman that he's been dating for a little close to a year now. And this is what we got going on. I want to say probably we were dating for like 10 months. 10 months to a year. Very close to a year. And this is what's happening? What in the hell is going on? So at this point, I'm low key like, cause I'm much younger, so I'm not used to the ghetto. I'm not used to none of this. I'm like, all of this? What is all of this because you're trying to figure out who in the house? So now I'm like, I'm in danger, but I can't quite tell if that's specifically what the object is because remember it's raining and you can't really see through the rain and stuff. And so I'm all the way upstairs too. So I'm looking out the window all the way upstairs. So I'm just trying to peek through the blinds to see like, am I seeing what I'm seeing or am I not seeing what I'm seeing? So I wasn't quite sure, but that's when I'm peeping. So I asked him, I'm like, I know she don't got one of these out there. Like, what's going on? And he like, man, she better not be on here, over here doing all that, da-da-da-da, she better not. So now he getting mad or whatever. So now he getting real mad. He like, you know what, I'm about to go down there and talk to her. And so then I'm like, yeah, go down. Because remember, I had already tried to go down there and talk to her, and he stopped me. And at this point, it's kind of good that I did it, because if she got one of these out there, I mean, it's for the best. Because would I be here today telling y'all the story? Like, what is going on out here? So and this is before I'm in Atlanta, you know, it's open carry, but this is before I had anything. So this is when I was a young buck. So I didn't have anything. So I'm just all hands. So I'm thinking we about to do a little squabble up, but she had another agenda, I guess. But hey, at this point, I don't know if that's what that is or if that's not what it is. That's just what I'm thinking it is. Cause I'm seeing this black object. I'm not sure. I'm like, okay, this is getting crazy. I'm going on my best friend. I'm like, what should I do? I got to get out of here. These people is crazy. It's stuff popping off. I'm not just like, I like you. I'm into you. I got love for you. But like for all this, baby, this is some ride or die stuff. Like y'all on some other stuff over here. So basically, after that, after I see that she got that, he didn't see it. But I told him, I'm like, I think she got one of these, like, you know what I'm saying, one of these. So like, I need to get up out of here. He like, yeah, that's why I didn't want you to go out there. That's why I'm telling you, just sit down, just stay here. I'm handling. So at this point, it's already 2 hours that done passed. So at this point, we at least 2.5 hours deep into this. This girl just honking, belligerent, broke a window in the kitchen, all types of craziness. So he finally decided to go downstairs. So he go downstairs, and I'm just up in the room. At this point, I call my best friend. I'm telling her everything that's going on. I'm telling her I think I see one of these or whatever. And I'm like, what the heck is this? I gotta get out of this. I don't want nothing to do with this person. I don't want nothing to do with this. I'm not in the ghetto. I'm not of the ghetto. Get me out of this. So I call my best friend. She like, just calm down. Da-da. She like, should we call the police? What should we do? I'm like, just wait. I got to make sure that's what I saw. What I saw is what I saw. Let me just wait. Let's just see what's going on. She's like, well, you got to get out of there. You can't be just stuck up in there. I'm like, yeah, I know. I need to get out of here. So he go downstairs or whatever, and I'm just upstairs. So he just down there for a good 30 minutes. He still haven't went out there to talk to the girl. So now we about 3 hours deep into this. I've been at this house for 3 hours since it's been going on. So he just down there, whatever, like that. And then he finally go, because she comes, so she end up going to the back door. So she stops kicking at the front door. She goes to his back patio door. And now she's trying to break the window of the back patio door. She's busting the window of the back patio door. Mind you, y'all know why she's doing all this? She got the one baby on one hip and the other baby holding her hand. She's doing all of this with the babies right there. The other baby just kind of like standing by themselves, but the one baby on her hip, she's doing all of this stuff with a baby on her hip. All of this stuff, because the babies never got left in the car. She brought them kids with her. Them kids with her the whole time. The kids crying. You hearing the kids crying. It's raining. I'm like, So I'm thinking in my head, what did you do to this girl? What did you do to this girl? Because no woman just behaves like this for no reason. I don't know women that just behave like that for no reason. You had to been playing a game with this girl, which is what, remember y'all, I've been thinking this the whole time. Like, not the whole time, but at some point I started thinking like, is he playing with me and is he playing with her? Because what woman behaves this way with her children in the rain like this, acting so wretched and ghetto, unless you played a game with this girl? You must have played this girl real hard. So she's showing her butt. So, which I don't show my butt like that, but I understand how some people could get you to that point. Some people could really take you to that point. So again, y'all know I'm a girl's girl, so I'm like on her side, but you up in here acting a nut, so I can't be on your side. And, you know, I also don't have all the facts. So I'm trying to figure this thing out. But the facts are showing itself right now at this point. Now I got the facts. Because this girl acting like this is just a nut. But again, he's trying to say that he keeping me in the house. He's trying to keep me in the house to protect me from her. Because he's saying she's crazy. And she gonna do all this stuff or whatever. Because she's tried to fight his other woman in the past. So he's spinning this again. Y'all know he like to twist and turn and all this stuff. So he's twisting it like, I'm protecting you. I'm protecting you. That's why I'm saying stay up here. Stay up here. I'm gonna handle it. So he go down there. She trying to bust that patio door window, so he finally opened the door for her. And as soon as he opened that door for her, do you know that she took some object? I think it was like some black object. I don't even know what it is or whatever like that, because I'm just getting the story back about that part. I'm looking through the window, but I only could see so much because I'm upstairs, so I'm just seeing stuff. But I know it was like a black object or whatever, and he mentioned it was a black object that she hit him in the head with, and then she cuts him. So now he leaking at the head. So I'm like, hold on. She's fighting him. Like, as soon as he opened the door, he didn't open the door completely. Like, you know how somebody kind of cracked the door. And as soon as he, like, cracked the door, she's throwing bows. She's throwing bows at him. She hits him with the black object, and that black object cuts him. So now he's leaking blood. And so he immediately slams the door right back. So now we're back to square one, where I guess he was about to go out there to talk to her. But since she did all that, now he don't want to talk to her. And now he leaking blood. So now he done shut the door again, and now she's back to kicking at the door, and she eventually goes back to her car and starts honking the horn. And so now we're back to square one. They didn't even talk it out. Stay tuned for the next part, because y'all need to know what happened next.